Recently, I found out that Vietnamese-Americans are the only Asian group in America that lean Republican.
The message is for any MAGA women out there. Did you know that as women and mothers, we fall under DEI? Nursing rooms, pumping stations, at work, family restrooms, even when your husband takes the baby out for the day, the fact that the men's restroom has a diaper changing table. DEI exists to make life more comfortable and safe and fair for everyone.
Asian Americans, we have to admit that we have a culture problem, and we cannot keep dodging accountability by hiding behind the backlash that Latinos are getting right now.
Vote, I regret my vote, I take back my vote. Yeah, you didn't regret any of your racism or callous indifference to brown or black people before you voted, did you?
This FAFO season is hitting on every community. The Latinos are out there crying out. The Arabs are out there crying out. The Caucasians are out there crying out. We are going to be looking at the Asian community today. And so guys, welcome to today's video. If you're new to this space, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and let's dive right into the video.
Recently, I found out that Vietnamese-Americans are the only Asian group in America that lean Republican. Yes, out of all the Asians, we Vietnamese-Americans are Republicans. 51% of us are anyways. Not myself, sorry. But I'm not surprised because I have encountered obviously a lot of Vietnamese people in my family, just hearing around kind of Vietnamese radio and things like that, what they talk about and things like that. And yes, they're very Republican. And the crazy thing to me is this, which is that I think one of the big reasons why they became very pro-Trump is because of his stance against China. They don't like China, which I understand based on just kind of Vietnamese history and everything, right? With communism and everything. But the crazy thing to me is that when someone looks at them, when someone looks at me, they don't have some sort of scanner that tells them, oh, this one, look at his eyes. He's Vietnamese. He's not Chinese. No, fool. When they look at you, when they look at me, they just see a Chinese person, an Asian person. They don't know. They don't know the difference between us. So when they say Chinese, they actually are talking about you too, right? And let's not get even into my mom and aunts and uncles and stuff. They're always talking about how, oh my God, all this Vietnamese food is so expensive now. The prices are crazy high. Wait until the tariffs hit. You want Trump? He's going to bring those tariffs and you think it's only for China. No, it's all your Vietnamese food. All the food that you eat, the only things you will eat. All of that stuff will double in price or quadruple or whatever the heck. And then you will see. I try to tell them this, but they will not listen. But Vietnamese Americans, get your act together. I'm just glad that hopefully the younger generation, you will change this. Hopefully.
Exactly what this guy just said, and that is the truth. I, as an African, I can hardly differentiate when I see a Vietnamese or a Chinese or a Japanese. Once I see them, I assume, okay, this person, the first thing that comes to my head is this person is from China. Unless probably you start engaging that person, you get to start talking to that person, then you get to know that, okay, this person is not a Chinese. And of course, the tariffs are hitting already. As much as that of Canada and Mexico are temporarily on hold now, that of China has been effective right from day one. So I'm sure they are feeling it right now. Getting stuffs right now are expensive. You go to Shein, you go to Temu, things are now expensive on those apps. Things that you can actually get for $5 before, you're getting them as much as $10, over $10 right now, and all this is because of the tariff.
This message is for any MAGA women out there. Did you know that as women and mothers, we fall under DEI? Nursing rooms, pumping stations, at work, family restrooms, even when your husband takes the baby out for the day, the fact that the men's restroom has a diaper changing table. DEI exists to make life more comfortable and safe and fair for everyone, not just people of color, and not just for minorities, and not just for immigrants. I know lately these big complex topics have been thrown around and it's become demonized because people are just choosing to look at the little fractures in it and they're forgetting the beauty of it as a whole. And they're using that as an excuse to pit against people and groups they don't like. Taking politics out of it, did you know DEI also includes the subtitles to your favorite TV show and gluten-free vegetarian options at the hospital? I also want to remind you what a slippery slope taking away rights can be. And I know right now it doesn't feel too close to home because maybe immigration is not something you're concerned about. Maybe you're very pro-life and never agreed with Roe v. Wade to start. Maybe this and maybe that, but you know what? As the circle gets smaller and smaller and more rights get lost, maybe one day it could be you. And I know you're going to want people around you to speak up for you. So be that for someone else right now. Be that person speaking up and standing up for what's right, even if it doesn't apply to you right now, because maybe one day you will be the maybe.
Asian Americans, we have to admit that we have a culture problem, and we cannot keep dodging accountability by hiding behind the backlash that Latinos are getting right now. So we'll get the big thing out of the way. There were 15 million eligible Asian American voters, and there most certainly was not anywhere near that number yesterday. Many Asians did vote, but I hope you understand now that your social and civic responsibility is not limited to just your individual vote. It extends to your family and your friends and your community. Like people in your family who don't vote, who skip out every election because they feel like it doesn't affect them. Or your parents who may not speak perfect English or even understand it at all, but lean conservative because they hear these little sound bites from particular politicians who are trying to pander to them, knowing the language barriers there, the cultural barriers there. These are situations where you can interfere. And to be frank, this political and social invisibility that we experience as Asians has to do with the fact that we don't have a solid community. There's way too much division. There's way too much separation. And that is the reason why some of the loudest Asian American voices in politics are the conservatives, are the Trump supporters, because they put their frustration into action. And they actually say the things, they do the things to put whatever they want into the universe and into action. And that's what we need to do. If you're frustrated by this election, you need to show up, you need to be there for your community, and you need to start small where it matters.
Yes, I realize I am using a filter because I am not really up this morning. And yes, I realize it's 12:07. Here's the thing. I've been looking at people like, I regret my vote. I take back my vote. Yeah, you didn't regret any of your racism or callous indifference to brown or black people before you voted, did you? No, you didn't. You didn't regret any of the ways you acted out or said trans people weren't people or any of the ways you devalued people you work with, people who are your neighbors, people who are just walking around their street minding their own damn business. No, you were so worried that your white supremacy was at risk or your idea of patriarchy was at risk that you voted for Trump, who was laughably incompetent, has always been incompetent, and should never, ever have been allowed a second. He's a convicted felon. And now that you're losing your jobs and you're losing, your food stamps or your assistance or whatever it is, now you're like, oh, I regret it because it affects you. But it affects you without teaching you a lesson. And the lesson is when you are intolerant, when you are judgmental, when you are a terrible person, those things come right around. Now, I watched Kamala Harris's NAACP speech, and to me, what that said was, Democrats, people of color, we are not allowed to tap out. We have to dig down. We have to continue pushing on. And I understand that. I hear that message. I accept that message. I'm going to do everything I can to follow through with that message. But when I see all these videos of people who are like, I regret my vote. No, you don't. You regret you got caught. You regret that your vote had impact on you, but you didn't regret your vote when it was going to impact me or my family or my kid or, my sister or anything else. You didn't regret it then, because then you were like, yeah, we'll show you minority people, we'll show you women, we'll show you LGBTQ plus community, we'll show you blah, blah, blah. You know, we'll show you. Show me what? Show me what? Show me how you lose your job, mother. Kamala Harris told me to be nicer. I'm gonna be nicer. Gonna be nicer.
Today is February 6th, 2025. I am in Maryland, and as of today, gas prices are 20 cents more a gallon. Groceries have also increased in prices. And from as far as I can tell, the only thing that most of this country cares about, the Constitution, is the Second Amendment. Everything else has been out the door. Make America great again? How about we say make America follow the Constitution again? Motherfucker! Yeah, I like how that sounds.
Interesting. MAFCA, make America follow the Constitution again. Interesting. That would be a good slogan to work with. So, guys, of course, we know the current administration, they've been going against some of the constitution of the country, not following the Constitution, and a lot of these things are affecting people. People are losing jobs anyhow in different sectors: IRS, education, tech, aviation, everywhere. Everybody's just affected with losing their jobs. Groceries are expensive right now. People are finding it difficult to live the life that they used to live. And right now, Americans are even relocating and going to other countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Africa, different continents like that for a better life because they cannot deal with what is happening right now in America. So, guys, what are your thoughts? You can drop them in the comment section. Are you that American that you're tired of staying in America? You just want to pack your things and leave this country right now? How are you coping with the whole thing that is going on? And also with the whole immigration ish thing going on, ICE is just picking anybody. They're not even confirming if you're a green card holder, a citizen. They just pick you up, they detain you. Maybe after some days, when they are convinced you are, they release you. Everything is just a mess right now. So, guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you've watched up to this point, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.